Coming up on Mountain News this morning, people from across the state and region came to say a final goodbye to a well-known Perry County businessman. And one Eastern Kentucky man is facing serious charges, accused of killing his own daughter.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6:31, it's Wednesday. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. And it is the last day of August today. Can't believe that. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. Brandon, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You are busy doing something.
Yeah, I forgot that, where I produce, I don't do it often, that I have to put together our cut-ins that run after the newscast.
I could have done that.
Yeah, well, I got it.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get things put together over here, but thankfully, it's quiet in the weather world, so we have plenty of time to do that right now. All right, let's take a look at what's going on across our region. There's some fog out there, so be aware of that as you head out the door this morning. The only spots with full visibility, and basically any visibility at all, is UVA Wise, or at the Wise, Southwest Virginia, Lonesome Pine Airport over in Wise, and the London Corbett Airport, even though it's right in the middle of all the fog up that way. So over at Wise, of course it goes out as soon as we take it on air. Give it just a second, it'll be back, I promise. It glitches sometimes. Again, there it is. Blue skies, sunshine, 61, beautiful conditions over there. 60 in Clintwood, 58 in Irvin, 59 in Williamsburg, 64 in Pikeville, Prestonsburg, and Logan. That's kind of the range this morning. So it's a cool morning out there and a cool day overall for the last day of August. 80 degrees this afternoon. Dew points will be in the 50s and 60s. So get out there, do something today, because it's going to be a great day for it. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, Tuesday was a day of remembrance in Hazard, as family, friends, and prominent political figures gathered at Hazard First Baptist Church to remember the life and legacy of Hazard businessman L.D. Gorman. He died Saturday at the age of 97. We talked to some who say they will never forget the man called the Patriarch of the Mountains.
Born and raised here, he lived in coal camps when he was really young in Leatherwood and busy. He worked in banks. He owned Citizens Bank, was a co-founder of WSGS, and was a coal operator, and always kind of scheming and dreaming. Well, he cared, and he just loved folks here. That was his main thing. Every day he got up and tried to figure out how to create new jobs, new opportunities in Hazard and Perry County, and he never left.
I could spend the rest of the year talking about the great things he has done and what a personal friend he was, what a leader he was for this community and county, state, and nation.
Whenever there was a need in Eastern Kentucky, he would call me and say, "Joe, we need to do this. Everybody's depending on us to help."
He was such a class act all the time. A caring, good man. And I can tell you, I can't talk a whole lot about this because, he's really meaningful to me.
If he did something publicly, it was to draw others to that cause. Most of his stuff, no one knew what he did. And I think he wanted it that way.
This is a legacy that it doesn't go out of style. LD never goes out of style, as you know. And I think that's something that we're all will take with us, and we have to use it and keep it well.
Well, we'd like to thank WSGS Radio for providing us those pictures that we used in our story. The family asked us not to record any of the service, and we respected their wishes. Well, there were some major new developments yesterday in a Johnson County death investigation. A warrant was served at a medical facility in Lexington following a case where a young girl was shot and killed. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office served an arrest warrant on Stacy Collins, who was taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center in Paintsville. He is charged with the murder of his 12-year-old daughter, Stacia. Stacy Collins was found with what investigators believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound near Van Leer, and hours later, his daughter's body was found nearly 2 miles away. Sheriff Doug Saylor says the investigation is still underway, but his deputies will stop at nothing to ensure justice is served.
Follow any and every lead that we have come before us during this, and we have full intentions of prosecuting who we find to be responsible for this to the fullest extent of the law.
Now, Deputy Tim Clark, the case's lead investigator, says more charges could be added in the weeks to come. He also says the death penalty is not out of the equation, and what happened to this young girl was, quote, inexcusable, unacceptable, and with absolutely no justification, end quote. One Eastern Kentucky man is facing some serious charges following an undercover child pornography investigation. Earlier this month, Kentucky State Police arrested 55-year-old Calvin Workman at his home in Lawrence County. Police took equipment they believe was used in sharing the images online to the Ashland Police Department for examination. Workman is charged with more than 20 felony accounts, which could lead to extensive jail time if convicted. He was taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. A former Kentucky jail employee is admitting to assaulting an inmate. Jeffrey Havens worked at the Eastern Kentucky Correctional Complex in West Liberty. The Justice Department says he held an handcuffed inmate on the ground and punched him multiple times with another corrections officer. Havens pleaded guilty to depriving the inmate of his civil rights. His sentencing is set for March. Well, the search continues for a Kentucky lawmaker's missing vehicle. State Representative Sherilyn Stevenson says her white Chevy Tahoe was stolen Monday night. Stevenson was hosting a campaign fundraiser at 46 Solutions in Lexington. Around 7:30, she went outside and noticed something was missing. Her car, a white Tahoe that had her H88 legislative license plate, the 88 representing her Fayette County district. It's her personal vehicle. She believes it was locked.
We have those folks out there with their own technology and knowledge of how the anti-theft systems work. They're cracking those codes on their keys.
Well, officials recommend protecting your vehicle by parking in a well-lit area, keeping your doors locked, and keeping your valuables out of sight. Well, they say etching your VIN number in each window can give added protection. Anyone with information can call Lexington Police. The Blaine Volunteer Fire Department will soon have a new station. 9 years after a fire took their old one, firefighters are preparing to build a new structure to provide better service to their community. The project, which received $750,000 in grant funding, is years in the making. Officials say it is going to be a game changer for the area after years of working with scattered equipment.
Depending on what kind of fire you go on to is what truck you take, and so if you got it all together, you can take what you need. I mean, it's going to be tremendous.
Fire Chief Jeremy Wheeler expects to see the station complete by winter. A few months ago, a more than $2 billion investment started in South Central Kentucky. On Tuesday, Governor Andy Beshear, local officials, and electric battery tech company Envision AESC broke ground for the new Gigafactory in the Kentucky Trans Park in Bowling Green. The Gigafactory is set to create 2,000 new jobs in the Commonwealth, and at 3 million square feet. It's one of the largest economic development projects of all time in Kentucky. Governor Beshear says it will also create a cleaner environment for the future.
This makes sure that we are ahead, we're a leader. We don't have to worry about losing the automotive jobs as it changes. In fact, we're going to have even more. It's going to help our planet too. I think we would all like, an affordable vehicle to where we know we're doing a responsible thing. The air our kids are going to breathe is going to be cleaner. And just think, with the batteries made right here in Bowling Green, I know we're all going to want to be consumers.
Bowling Green operation is expected to power up 300,000 vehicles per year by 2027. In other news, the largest city in Mississippi is facing a failing water system. The problem is due to issues at the main water treatment facility. Governor Tate Reeves says he will sign an emergency declaration for the city of Jackson and create an incident command center to distribute water.
Until it is fixed, it means we do not have reliable running water at scale. It means the city cannot produce enough water to fight fires, to reliably flush toilets, and to meet other critical needs.
The state will distribute water up to 180,000 people as crews work to get the water treatment plant up and running. And Governor Andy Beshear has directed for flags at all state office buildings to be lowered at half-staff today. The occasion is to observe Overdose Awareness Day in Kentucky. In addition to lowering the flag from sunrise until sunset, the governor's mansion will be lit in purple, the designated color to show support for overdose awareness. Overdose Awareness Day is a global event held on August 31st each year to raise awareness of drug overdoses, to reduce the stigma of drug-related deaths, and to acknowledge the grief felt by families and friends as they remember those who have died or have a permanent injury as a result of a drug overdose.
6:40 here on this Wednesday morning, middle of the week and middle of the road when it comes to fog out there. Low visibility across most of the region, especially down south. You see those darker shades of gray. That means that there's also some heavier bands of fog working their way through the Big Sandy, through the Lake Cumberland corridor. Just be careful out there. Near zero visibility in a lot of locations this morning. 60 in Clintwood, 58 in Irvin, 59 in Williamsburg, 64 in Prestonsburg. Our lone holdout there on the warm end of the scale. It is 12 degrees colder in London this morning, 11 degrees colder than 24 hours ago in Somerset, 7 degrees colder Hazard, and Pikeville, 8 degrees colder in Jackson right now. Your Mojicast for today, it's going to be a very pleasant end to the month of August here, 80 degrees this afternoon. Sunny start to September, but the dew points will slowly start to go back up. I do think we're still in pretty good shape tomorrow. Friday, yeah, it's going to be a little bit warm as you're heading out to some of those Friday night football games. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. It is almost 6:42 when we come back from Mountain News this morning. People around the world are mourning the loss of the last leader of the now defunct Soviet Union. Stay with us.